Okay, I think we're live. Yep, it looks like we're live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just want to ease in slowly tonight. We've had a snowstorm here in East Tennessee. You know, it's probably worse up in the mountains. We were actually able to get out today. But yeah, it's been quite a weekend with weather patterns and coming into winter and the darkening of the light as we move toward the solstice. So, just sort of settling into that feeling of going within, I guess, is where I want to start with this, because this is really that time where the nights are getting longer, the days are getting shorter. Um, the and here in the northern hemisphere, we a lot of times, or at least I do, want to go into my pajamas and make sure that by the I'm just turning this up a little. There we go. By the time the sun goes down, I'm all cozied up and ready to go to bed. And it actually the sun is down, so I'm kind of I'm kind of in loungewear tonight. So I hope you are too, and that you've gotten yourself nice and cozy and you're ready to relax for the evening. Hopefully you have something to drink. This is just herbal tea here. That's why there's color in it. Because as you know, with these live streams, we come together to move and clear energy and amplify the frequency of our vibrations so that we can live the higher aspects of who we are. We can enjoy the upper end of our experience, the lighter, finer, more fun end. And I got to tell you, I got to be honest with you, it's been pretty heavy for me for the last few days. Um, I had a really powerful sound healing session with someone in Ireland. Her name is Claire Marie Barton, and I'll make sure that I post a link to her website down below if you're interested in sound healing. She actually did it over a YouTube live stream, an unlisted one, because she was doing it for me, and then she sent me the recording. But what we got from it, or what she felt intuitively from it, and what I experienced from it, was this whole opening in of a doorway into my own ancestral lineage through my mother's line. And my mother, if you don't know, was Korean, and she was born in North Korea and lived through the Korean War and was a refugee who moved to South Korea by foot with her family. And there's a whole lot of things that I don't know about that. But recently I've been looking at some of the records that I found after my father passed away about the census of where her father's name, her mother's name. And back in those days, they actually put the clan that they indicated, the clan that they're from. And I've been able to find a lot on YouTube or on Google about it. So that was kind of in there being stirred up. And then I had this amazing deep, deep sound healing session. And I got to tell you, I've been triggered in a lot of ways over the last few days. And, I'm kind of grateful that we're all here together with each other. And if you've been feeling some triggering, if you've been feeling some of that stuff too, it may not necessarily be stuff. Well, actually, I think on my last video for people who have a defined emotional solar plexus, someone said, well, it's not so easy that emotions do seem more personal for people with a defined emotional solar plexus. And I don't have, mine is undefined, but it can, that stuff that's coming up is really stuff that's coming up for healing. So I'm inviting you, if you're dealing with some deep emotional triggering, or if you've just been feeling heaviness for whatever reason, to just bring that to the table this evening so that we can work with that. We've come through on the 7th, we had a new moon, which is a time when we can really start something new. The energy kind of starts over. Like on the full moon, we release things, and then the energy kind of gestates. And on the new moon, we get to sort of step forward. And you can't really step forward with your stuff. So this is a good time to let go of your stuff as we move into our time together this evening. And it's also a time like when you're ready to move forward on something. What happens a lot of times is, and I see it in a spiral pattern, like we spiral up through our experience. And sometimes we come to something that is similar to something we thought we had dealt with. And one of the terms that's used for that is new level, same devil. So let's imagine that, or let's declare that we are moving forward with the energy and support of the new moon, and stuff is, and we've come to this place forward in a spiral. We've come to this place where we were back here. So it's the same devil, new level. And it's not that you didn't deal with it when you were here, but now you're dealing with another aspect of it up here. So if you've been feeling that, that's great, because it means that you're ready to move over the threshold into the higher experience, into the more expanded experience, and move forward with fresh energy. And this is a time when we can come together and just work with some of that, untangle some of that, so that your journey forward or around the spiral up to the next level will be less resistant and more buoyant and more light. So let's see what we've got here. Yeah, okay. Okay, you want to know, can you discuss if projectors can take on the drama or issues of generators? Absolutely. The aura type, or the aura of projectors, is very penetrating and very absorbing. So whoever you're around, whoever's energy fields you're around, if you're a projector, you're absorbing that energy. And it will feel good or it won't. And it's kind of up to us, those of us who are in the body that's exuding the aura, to kind of manage that, either by getting out of the space or doing something to take care of ourselves. But absolutely, yeah, we do take on the drama of all the other energy types, or we can if we're not aware. And that's what the human design experiment and the journey is about. It's becoming aware of where you're taking in, or where you're affected by other people, through that openness in your chart. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that happens theoretically over 7 years, and then then you get to that you circle around to that level, and then you come back up again to the next level. So whatever you have to deal with will come up again, but it will come up again in a different way. The patterns that you understand either through your chart or through living life will continue to come up. But yes, we do absorb as projectors a lot. And we can penetrate really deeply. And that's why it's so great to be able to have the ability, or to know a little bit about your strategy, especially as a projector, to know that you need to wait for the invitation to be invited into someone's aura. And in order to have access to the energy to do what you've been invited to do. But that's a whole other thing. We're not, this isn't a projector centric experience here tonight, but I wanted to address that. And also with generators, you also have a very attractive aura. So you attract things to you. And one generator explained to me that it feels to her, when she's attracting other people's energies, sometimes as she gets overwhelmed, it's like the energy gets stuck to her. So if you're a generator, I'd love to hear what your experience is with that. Yeah, so you're dealing with some thoracic lumbar herniated disc pain. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you've got that going on. Yeah, I'm wondering if anyone else is dealing with lumbar pain, especially. I was thinking about that today when I was feeling all of this heaviness inside of me, and it was settling in my low back. And we're not quite at um, the Capricorn juncture yet. We're still in Sagittarius, but when Capricorn comes around, it's not um, it's not unusual to feel that deep lumbar pain, because that's where our foundation is, and of course, the area of the sacral and creative energy and all of that. So I'm gonna and so I'm going to ask you to, or invite you to, really work with the energies tonight to kind of let that come into you and open you up so that you have more ease in those areas. Okay, Masumik, and hello, welcome. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so what else was I going to say about that? Well, as I was getting focused tonight, the thing that came to me is clearing the decks and freeing the flow. And so we've got some people who are dealing with the issues around back pain and things like that. And if you're feeling anything in your body, this is a time to kind of bring that to the table for healing and for to receive some energy to sort of work with that. All right. Yeah. Capricorn. I'm feeling that Capricorn energy quite a bit. A couple of you are mentioning Capricorn again, and yeah, I'm feeling it quite a bit. And I haven't really looked at what's going through the transits right now to really parse that out in terms of where Capricorn is showing up. But I know that it's not showing up. The sun's not going into Capricorn until the 21st or something. So but it does feel like, that one step at a time. Capricorn is the goat, has to have stability. You could even think of that as like the line 1 or the line 4 in your profile, that one step at a time. If you have logical circuitry in your chart, again, that's kind of that one step at a time Capricorn type of energy, where you really want to build a platform and a foundation for yourself so that you're well supported as you climb up the hill, or as you go up the okay, here's the image. Let me draw it out for you. The spiral mountain. I don't know if I can draw it out. You're going up the spiral mountain. You can't see that. You're going up the spiral mountain as the goat to the top. And you get to this one place where, there's like a tree or a branch that grows up from the bottom, and that's your same devil each time. It catches you. It catches your fur as the goat going around, or it catches your hoof every single time you go up. So we're at that place where we're going to undo our hoof so that we're really ready to receive that Capricorn support when it comes in a few weeks. That's what's coming to me now. So let's just go with that. All right. So let's get comfortable, get centered, get grounded. If you didn't get any water, intend to either get some right now, or intend to get something to drink as soon as we're done, because you'll want to have some extra hydration this evening. All right. You may want to close your eyes. And I'm feeling like there's this need, at least for me, and maybe for those of you who are having Capricorn, your hooves are stuck and you're in that Capricorn feeling kind of energy. Maybe you need to have your feet on the ground. And if you want to, you can stand and feel your feet solidly on the ground. Let's see what the goat wants to bring us. Okay, so feel your toes. Wiggle your toes. And you might, if you're barefoot or sock-footed, you might want to just kind of grip your toes into the ground and just feel the floor beneath you as much as you can. And as you do that, allow the energy to move up your legs, your ankles, your legs, your thighs, through your knees, through your hip joints. The joints are so important to make sure that they're energized. You know, they can be those cutoff points where we cut the energy off. So as we're working here, intend and visualize or feel that energy moving through the knee joints, the hip joints, up into the low back, into the sacroiliac joints. And you may want to rock back and forth on your hips. Yeah, this is not a static meditation. We are consciousness embodied. So you move however you need to move. Maybe move and put weight on one sits bone and then on the other, back and forth, just like you would if you were standing. If you're standing, you can put step on one foot and then step on the other and really feel your stability, even though you may be going from side to side or front to back. And as you do that, breathe and pull the grounding from the earth up into the legs, through the joints, all the way up into the hips, into the lower spine. And if you're feeling that lumbar heaviness, you know, you can take your hands, your healing mitts, and maybe you want to rub them together to get some heat and some energy moving. And I'm running some energy remotely to help fortify you in that. And then you can put your healing mitts right back there on your spine if you're having some lumbar or some spine stiffness or discomfort. And just let that warm up. Maybe up into the upper part of your low back, like right where your ribs are. That's where the kidneys and the adrenals are. And that's a real crucial area to nourish because it feeds, or the root center feeds it. The energy of the root feeds it. And if you're sitting down and you're rocking back and forth on your sits bones or front and back, you're just sort of getting that root area awakened. And those of you who have an undefined root center may feel the need to just focus there a little bit and allow yourself to discharge any energy that you've picked up, any stress that you've picked up. That's in the root at the bottom, at the base of your pelvis, as you put healing energy into your adrenals. This is a time of year when we can get really pushed, and our adrenals, whether you're defined in the root or not, our adrenals can get overloaded by the extra things that happen. You know, if you're participating in holiday celebrations, as joyful as they may be, it's still extra energy, it's extra people, projectors, it's people that where you're absorbing energy that you may not normally absorb, and generators, you're attracting energy onto your field or into your field from others that you might not normally be in contact with. So there's potential for extra stress that can tax your body, that can tax your stress management mechanism. So it's good to give those adrenals a little bit of extra attention. And then take your healing mitts and put them really anywhere where you feel like you need some extra energy, some extra love. A lot of people get this upper shoulder neck tension, especially if you live in a cooler climate and it's getting colder these days. You know, this is a time when your neck and shoulders can really tighten up. And that's actually a defense mechanism of the body's defense mechanism of because you have acupuncture points back here at the base of your neck that if they're too vulnerable to cold, you actually catch a cold. So at least that's been how it's been explained to me from acupuncturists. So if you've been feeling like that, you know, give that area a little extra attention and energy. All right, so have a comment here that the moon is in Capricorn, now conjunct Pluto. Yeah, so the moon being in Capricorn is very much about being driven. That's how we interpret it through the human design chart. What drives you is that moon energy. And I haven't really looked to see what gate that is. If anyone knows what gate that is, go ahead and chat that in. So take some deep breaths. And then just put your hands, now that you have this beautiful, powerful energy heated up in your hands, just put them anywhere where you feel like you need to have extra care, or where you feel like you need to have extra connection. And maybe you'll move them around. Maybe you'll put, like I'm putting one hand on my lower abdomen and one hand on my heart. You can put them in two different places or in one place together, or move them around. And go back to your feet and inhale. And as you inhale, imagine that the energy is coming through your joints, up through your legs, through your knees, your hips, up your spine, up the center of your torso, your heart, your throat, your head, all the way up to your crown and above. And then exhale and relax into that opening. And let's do that again, bringing that energy up from the ground, inhaling all the way up through your body, imagining that line of energy going right up out your crown. And then as you exhale, send that energy even higher. Move it up and up as high as you can go. And now just breathe naturally and allow that energy, that opening from your crown, to open up even more, allowing the information of Earth to move up toward the levels where your higher consciousness exists. And of course, you know, in the multidimensional world, um, it's probably not quite this linear. We're using the imagery because that's how our brains can wrap around this stuff. So just keep moving it up as though it were a channel of light and energy from the earth. And let it go up as far as you can imagine it going until you feel the edges of your human consciousness. And then allow that edge, that ceiling, to open as though it were a sunroof. And light comes shining through. Light and information from the cosmos comes shining through and penetrates that shaft. You can even imagine it as the neutrino streams coming down into the top of your head, through your crown, your head center, bathing your personality design crystal, your throat, your G center and your heart, your sacral center, and spreading out into the spleen, spreading into the solar plexus, the whole torso area, and then down into that root where it's saying, you don't need to push so hard. That's what came up. So I'm telling you what the energy is telling the root. And then let that energy move down through your hips, through your knees, down your shins, through your ankles, through your feet, and right down into the depths of the earth. Take a deep breath and feel yourself grounded and expanded at the same time. Okay, so now that you're in this space where you can be informed, where your consciousness is more expanded, you're relaxed, you're grounded, this is a great time, great space to be in to reflect on anything that may be hitching you up a little. If you're using that goat metaphor, what is the thing where you've come to this new level and you're ready to move forward? The energy is sort of pushing you forward. What is that thing that's kind of catching your hoof? That little branch that's catching your hoof. What is that about? So ask yourself that. First of all, what is the pattern? And then if you kind of know what the pattern is, this is something, if you know that there's something that's kind of hitching you up, you can go back to this. But for those of you who have been working on this and you're like, here it is again, you know what the pattern is. And what's triggering it? So I'll just share with you what's coming up for me. And if you want to share in the chat what's coming up for you, feel free, or you can write it down. But the pattern that comes up for me when I get to that next level in the going up the hill, going up the mountain around the spiral, is inadequacy, which is actually in my chart in the gate 48. Comes up every time. And then I get triggered and very sensitive to my own inadequacy, and I get defensive. When I don't feel like I get into this place of comparing myself to other people. And then I get it, I can fall down the rabbit hole, down the well, the 48's the well, into comparison. And then any little thing will trigger me. So that's what the pattern I'm working with. And if you have a pattern, feel free to share it, or feel free to write it down. Now let's see what we can do with these patterns and these triggers. Usually triggers are things that come from the outside. You know, somebody says something, or you know, you see something that you know, just sort of sets off that pattern of thought of, well, for me it's like, you know, I'm not good enough, I'm failing at what I want to do, whatever it is, you know, or that person's got it better than me, or whatever it is. So it's something outside that really has nothing to do with you, but it sets up, it triggers that dynamic, and I'm going to just gently frame the perception of that dynamic, that dynamic of being triggered into that pattern, as that place, these people, or these incidents that come up on the outside are coming up because it's time to free up the hoof, unhook yourself from the pattern so that you can move forward. So the question is, with this pattern that comes up, first of all, do you recognize the trigger? And then what do you do with it? And I think, was it the last live stream, or maybe one before that, we talked about, or maybe it was a video, we talked about, I'm in that space. Hold on. I lost my thought. What to do with that. And it has to do with, first of all, being neutralizing the experience, that it is a pattern, and seeing it as just a pattern. It doesn't mean that you're bad. It doesn't mean that you're you failed. It doesn't mean any of that. It's just a pattern that happens, and all of us have it. It's in your chart. If you're doing, you know, following your hologenetic profile in the gene keys, it's in there too. So, you know, it's just the new devil, the same devil that comes up every time you reach the new level. So that's what it is. So let's take our patterns. Let's take that thing that hitches us up, and let's just put that in our hands, of whatever it is. You can give it a word, you can give it whatever. Here it is again. Presented to me, presented to you, presented to me, to mold and remold, to soften up, to work with at a higher level of awareness and consciousness so that I can take the strength that I get from that and use it on my journey forward. So as you have it in your hands, you can kind of work with the energy of that pattern as though it were clay, as though it were energetic clay. And then when you feel like it's soft and malleable, maybe even less dense, take the changes that have occurred as you've worked with the energy of the pattern and acknowledging that it's just the thing that comes up and you embrace it. Take that and put that in your heart and allow your heart to embrace what your pattern has shown you and surround that energy with gratitude and with love. And allow it to inform your heart about how you proceed forward. And as you do that, remember that you've got energy moving up and down through your center, up and down through your center. And as this transformed pattern begins to settle in, it's informing all of your cells about a new way of being that's coming from the wisdom and the shift that you've made around this pattern. And it moves up and down with that energy that's moving through you from feet to head and above, and from above the head down to the feet. And it's just being carried back and forth and informing everything within you. Allow yourself to feel expanded in this energy. And anything that you may be holding on to, especially if it's stuff that you've absorbed or it's stuff that you've attracted or it's just stuff, manifestors, that you're just pushing against to get it, hopefully to get it out of your way, or reflectors, if there are any reflectors on the line, stuff that you're reflecting. If it's affecting you, allow this light and allow the transformed energy of this pattern to push that out of your cells and out of your auric field as you fill up more and more with the wisdom that you're getting from your pattern that you work with every single time you take a step in evolution. There's no room for anybody else's stuff inside of you. So just imagine that it's floating away. All of your cells, all of your subatomic structure, everything is filling up with this light. And everything that's not yours is being pushed out and pushed out and pushed out. And as you see it go away, as you see it leave your auric field, just intend and invite it to go back to wherever it came from. Some people are missing pieces of their energy because perhaps your energy field has been holding on. So give that back. If you feel like it, you can send it with gratitude, because not absorbing other people's energies or being affected by other people's energies is not necessarily negative. Sometimes it feels pretty good. So, but it's not yours, so send it back. And then just feel yourself in this place where you're filled up with your own light. Then let that light really sink into your skeletal structure, like deep, deep, deep within your bones. Just let it seep into the pores of your bones, especially if you're having back issues or joint pain or anything like that. Just let it seep in. And if you're having discomfort anywhere else in your body, even if it's not skeletal, send that light, allow that light to saturate those areas. And let it move down into that root, into the root area at the base of your spine. Fill that up to so much that your root center is actually uh, part of what's grounding you to the earth. And those of you who have an undefined root center, you can intend that you stay filled up with your own light so that when other people's root energy comes to you, you're less susceptible to that adrenaline pressure. You can let go of it more easily, like it's the light is almost making it slippery, so it just doesn't stick. And anywhere where you have an undefined energy center, you can intend to fill that area, to fill those related organs up with the light that is you, so that you're more resilient and fortified as you move among the people that you're not used to being around, as you're in different energies, even in different places where the environment is different because it's decorated in a different way. It can affect some of us very deeply. So feel, and for the if you're sensitive to environment and you have an undefined G center, just fill the center of your chest up with even more light, more of your light. And when you feel really full and fortified, and when you feel like your entire energy field around you is full of this light and has crowded out and moved out everything that's not yours, just bask in that for a moment. Take a few deep breaths. Allow it to circulate. Allow yourself to tune into the lightness that you may feel. And then if you want to, you can ask this light that is essentially you, higher frequency aspects of you, if there's a message for you. If you get one, that's great. And if not, that's fine. But there may be something for you that you can carry into the next couple weeks that will help you to stay buoyant. All right, and take a deep breath. Come back into your physical awareness, the awareness of your physical body. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Oh, someone saw my cat. Yeah, he likes it up here. Hmm. I'm just reading your comments. If you have a glass of water, go ahead and take a drink of water or a tea or whatever. Yeah, cooler weather can affect health. Struggle. Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, the if you have the 2838 or one of those channels or one of those gates, that can come up. Oh, sorry to hear about your cat. I know that's always hard when a loved pet dies. It must be perfect to avoid being exposed. Oh, wow. I'm wondering, Nancy, if you've got the gate 32 defined. I think the 32's been in the transits too. Great. Resist nothing. That's a great one. I love that. Yeah. Resist nothing. And I'll add to that for me. Resist nothing because, and this is an undefined will center kind of thing, because there's nothing that I have to prove. Awesome. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I'm still kind of in space here. I'm gonna just feel my feet on the ground. Okay, so wow, thank you guys. That was really powerful. Uh, hmm, I think okay. I think I cut out there for a minute. The thing about pushing light out or moving, allowing light to circulate out and fill up your cells and your auric field so that anything that's not yours can go back to whoever it came from. That may be a great thing to work with if you feel like you've been affected by other people's energies, especially during these times during the holidays. Um, yeah. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to let you know, if you didn't see my last video, we did hit 900. We're 900 strong on my channel. I know other people have like thousands and thousands. That's me comparing again, but you know, I'm so honored that you all are participating with me, and you know, and I keep attracting people like you to my channel, because I really feel like I get to use my, or really shine in my right angle cross of service when I'm here with you. And so anyway, if you haven't seen my last video announcing the 900 celebration, I have a special up just for you guys on YouTube. I've started doing some reports, and it's all explained there. There's a report for you if you've never had a reading, and it comes with a half hour. It's a written report, that it's not a computer generated report. It's like I'm writing your reading out. And you get that, and a half hour session with me. It's normally 175. So in honor of our 900 subscribers, it's $90. And if you've had a reading before, I have some advanced reports too. It's all in that other video, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm celebrating that, and I'd love for you to celebrate with me if you feel called to do so in that way. I really, really appreciate that you have joined me, and I appreciate your support so very much. And this is the reason that I do my videos and I have this channel, is because I really want to be able to serve and support you in the best way that I can, in the lightest way that I can. And to tell you the truth, YouTube is really it for me right now. It allows me to just flow my energy in a way that's spontaneous, that's in alignment with my defined spleen, and it, the results are that I feel more and more connection with you all as we move forward. All right. Oh, Masumik, you have the right angle cross of service too. And you also did massage, or you do massage therapy. Yeah, occasionally. Yeah, I do that too. I'm a veteran massage therapist from way back, and I just cannot get away from it because it's something that I love. But like most projectors, I kind of need to slow my body down a little bit these days. All right. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. I feel complete. And you can go back and watch this video at any time that you want if you want another boost of this. More are coming. I know we're talking about the emotions and the emotional solar plexus, so I'm going to continue with that for a little while. And those of you who saw my last two, thank you for your comments and your suggestions for what you want to hear me talk about. So, and this is, that's my husband. As we align energetically, we attract the most magnificent surprises, especially those of us who have the 51 in our chart. So that was my surprise. So I'm going to sign off because obviously I have someone special in the other room that I want to spend some time with tonight. So awesome. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. My heart is filled with gratitude. I'm going to sign off. Bye.